Anybody want to recap? It was a session spent entirely in the town, if you remember. The session 8. Kevin, you want to give it a quick shot, and others can support you.
Yeah, I won't read as detailed as sometimes I do. So we picked up on quarter 2 of the 7th of Summerwain. Stas was walking around the outside of town, has a conversation with Garm about getting out of here before the Rust Brothers get here or the orcs get here. More of that. Askelon works with Ori, does morning services. Finds out that there's an elven gemstone that the local, what are they, Raven Sisters? What are the
Yep.
That they have, and he starts kind of tinkering around with the gemstone, learning a little bit about it. Some folks attempt to train things or fail to attempt to train things. Conn finds out some stuff. Nobody trusts orcs since the mist lifted. The local orcs have also been fighting amongst themselves. Seems to be a couple different clans. There's repenters, followers of the Raven, but they're not sane. And they don't think humans have any place in the Raven lands, even though they are humans themselves. Seems kind of weird. And he got kind of pointed out where the Griffin lair's at, kind of the direction. The next quarter, we all met up at the temple to talk for a bit. Askelon wants to go out in the forest to meditate and do some stuff. What? Oh, I'm trying to read my notes. Stas leads the way. It's an elf thing, isn't it? I have that as a quote. I don't remember who said it, but anyway.
I was trying to go out. I was trying to go out in the wilderness. Everybody was like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah, you were thinking about it.
That's right. That's right.
Thinking about it.
That's right. Let's see. Conn and Garm go to Stonstom to talk about the Rust Brothers and get Garm's gear. We also bought some stuff. Let's see, Conn.
Yeah, there was some prices right shopping. Yeah.
Yes, there was. Conn got a longbow. Garm got a short bow. Askelon trains, gets that fancy training without paying all the high XP bucks.
Thank you, game.
Let's see. Stas does some ridiculous negotiating for like a lot of things. All of the food, a feast. Also finds an elfstone shard. Not that we know that yet. From Darfa. Let's see. And then I think we left off. We were all feasting while you foreshadowed some orc feast marching towards town.
I think that's right. I think Sean, you can do your good nights there, Kevin. He's been flying around the background behind you. Good stuff. Good night. I think Sean saved like every point of willpower for the whole game until like last session, and then spent them all.
Pretty much.
Yeah. He's like, social encounters. Let's do this.
Wait, we need to negotiate?
I might not. I have like 1 willpower left. And I think I might have started with at least 6.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And right. I don't know if I'll ever use them again. I don't know if I'll ever see another person again. I don't know. So
well, the way the first like 7 sessions of this game went. Yeah. On the run.
We'll see.
So great summary, Kevin. I think that what we need to understand about the scene right now is it's pouring rain outside. It's the 4th quarter, so it's it's dark. But inside of the White Raven, which is the inn you're staying at in the little village of Riversknit, it's a bright and cheery scene because the feast is going on, right? So there's been coins have changed hands, the wine is flowing, the food's coming out of the kitchen. And I'm even going to get Stas to make a performance roll here in a moment. Don't do it yet, but to see just how merry a party this is, because we did close the session with a kind of the camera pulling back from the village out into the muck of the woods and the fields around the village to see some boots tramping and pulling out further some sort of burly green arms and some clearly some orcs who are approaching the village, and that's where we left off, right? Was the foreshadowing that Kevin's talking about. For you other 3, did we miss anything?
I can't remember. Did Kevin mention when I is it the blacksmith who runs the village again? His name?
Stom. Yep.
Yeah, Stom. I had told him about the approaching Rust Brothers and orcs, and he said he was going to increase the guards on the walls.
That's right.
That's true.
Okay.
I forgot about
All right.
that.
No, I'm just okay. Just checking.
Oh, double the guard, I think he said.
Yeah, beautiful.
Something along those lines. Okay, so I think we'll pick up in Q4 during the feast. So a few things are going on, and one would be, as we start the game here, whoever had lost their pride, and it might be Conn, someone can get their pride
I
back.
think I got it. I got mine back. It
Is
might
it
have been
Garm?
Garm.
Garm.
Yeah. That's right. And I hadn't quite decided on one. I think I'm going to go with, unless somebody has doesn't like this one or has another idea. The enemies always feel my blade.
Okay. Very combat focused pride.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
that's
he's
who
an
Garm
orc.
is.
He's an orc.
That's
who
who
he is.
Garm is. Yep. Okay. So in terms of like housekeeping and that kind of thing, everybody looks like they're in Foundry, so we're good to go there. Looking out the window of the inn, if you're going to do that at one point to see if the guard have been doubled, you do indeed see additional guards sort of on the front gate. You might remember that this village is relatively small, so you can kind of like walk from one end of it to the other in like 2 minutes type of thing. I think we described it as being a couple of dozen buildings type of thing, right? 60 some people, something like that. So it's not that hard to look out the window and see sort of what's going on, but it is dark and it is raining. So as the night wears on, you can each tell me if there's something specific you want to do. But the first thing I'd like to sort of accomplish is to see if Stas can increase his reputation by just throwing a badass party and having the townsfolk flock to the White Raven in this rainstorm, where stories are told, songs are sung, etc. So probably a performance role, I think, Sean.
Oh, okay. I got empathy damage I haven't healed yet.
And if you're a human, remember, you can substitute.
Oh,
you have
that's
a
right.
talent.
If you got some willpower points.
Yeah, I only have one willpower.
There's a future use for your willpower when you're in the wilderness.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I'll have to use adaptive, I think.
Okay.
An adaptive. So I spend one willpower point and I could change it, right?
You can roll, if you can justify it, you can roll a different skill. Yeah.
I would say that it's probably it's gonna fall under empathy, I'm guessing anyway, which sucks because I'm like damaged.
You're
there.
hurting.
I am. But I could go to manipulation.
You could.
Then,
So you're going to have to tell us what it looks like. So, you can picture that the food and the wine is flowing and it's a merry scene inside. But what is Stas doing to really kind of expand?
I probably have to make fun of people and manipulate them in a way where it's humorous, I guess. I don't know. Like not insult them, but knowing, I don't know if that's manipulate. Maybe that's still performance, but it's like to not offend anybody. Like I'm trying to, I don't know. That might be a stretch.
Yeah, I'll buy it. You're trying to manipulate them into like liking you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. By at the expense of others. Probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who are you specifically at whose expense?
I don't know. The fat guy in the front.
Townsfolk? Yeah. Townsfolk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Townsfolk. Hey, hey, buddy, where'd you come in from?
Okay, so that sounds like if there's a failure.
Hey. Yeah.
It sounds like if there's a failure, there may be a few people who are like, "What the? Where'd you get off?"
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Hey, did the blood mist just drag you in here? Hey-o. All right, here we go. It gives me an extra die, I guess, in the scheme of things.
Well, you said you need some willpower. Here you go.
I suppose I will push.
So the opening salvo doesn't go so well.
Oh no!
It goes worse.
No!
Son of a bitch.
And he loses
a willpower point.
Get a willpower point.
Oh shit, man!
All right,
dude, I'm almost broken on empathy.
Uh-huh. All right, so guys, Stas is bombing up there. Does one of you step in to? You can see that some of the people who
take
are
my wife, please. Hey.
some of the yeah. Go on,
I
Wayne.
will volunteer. Askelon will get up and.
This is my friend Askelon. He's an elf. Hey.
And remembering what Ori having me reveal myself, I will sing a song about the raven coming to this land.
Okay. So you're going to try to cover for him.
Yeah. All right. Basically, I'm like Act 2. Since Don Rickles has already pissed everybody else off.
Got it. I'll tell you what. We're going to remove a point of reputation from Stas, unless the performance that Askelon puts on is so good that people overlook the bombing we just saw.
Oh.
So go ahead, Askelon.
I could be bombing this one too.
Sing your song. Oh. So I will dangle in front of you.
Actually, I only have 2 willpower points. There's part of me who wanted to fail. But
fair enough. So I'm going to dangle something for you, though. If you can get a second success, there's another benefit you could get here. So right now you have basically settled the crowd, and Stas can keep his reputation.
I'll do it.
You can push if you want to.
Oh.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So there's somebody you've been looking for the last day and a half, I think, and you have not managed to attract that person to this feast, this party. Sadly.
Oh, that was the hunter guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Siga.
Okay.
Siga. All right. So while Stas and Askelon have sort of the attention of the crowd in here, there's probably like a dozen people in here who come in from at the end of the day after work, seeing that they could probably hear the revelry that's going on in here because of all the setup that Stas did in our last session around getting the food coming out on trays and platters and all that sort of stuff. Garm, what do we see Garm doing when the all this merriment is being made?
I think Garm attempts to, unless Conn buggers off or something. Garm tries to hang out near Conn because he's a little overwhelmed by the number of people in this space, and Conn's the guy he joined this troop with, so he feels most comfortable, especially while Askelon and Stas are kind of drawing attention to themselves. Garm tries to fade back, kind of stay back.
Okay.
Kind of looks to Conn to see we're supposed to cheer now. Okay.
He's bombing. Just probably at this point, maybe need to watch in case he gets punched out. But I think Askelon smoothed the waters.
Seems pretty talented at that.
Well, I think we're all getting pretty talented at saving Stas's butt.
What's wrong with all you people? You haven't seen an elf before?
Hopefully he doesn't start pointing fingers at you, Garm.
Right. I might just go to bed.
Well, I wasn't going to stay up very late. I was only going to have a couple of drinks because we're heading out in the morning, right?
I think that was the plan, though. It depends on the weather.
Yeah, that's right. Stas was doing a lot of bellyache and he doesn't want to go out in the rain.
Yeah, but he also doesn't want to stay. But then he also, wishes we talked to the orcs.
I know.
But he's also worried about the orcs taking over the town.
I know.
And then
yeah, sounds about right.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So at some point, then it sounds like Garm turns in. What is that? What Conn does as well?
Yeah, I think so. Conn doesn't want to get too deep into the drinks because tomorrow could be a busy day, and he knows he's gonna have to take point.
Okay, so there's two of you head for the and I forget. Did you guys rent private rooms here? I'm trying to remember.
I thought we had enough money to do that, and I might have even.
I think so, because I think you made it super cheap.
Yeah, you made it. Yeah.
We can revisit notes. Let's presume that's the case. So Garm heads up. Conn, when you're heading for the bottom of the stairs, Filthy Jane who is the cook, scullery maid, serving wench, all of the above, catches you by the wrists and is like, I need your help outside. Come with me. And she heads for the back of the inn, like the entrance that, not that the customers don't use, that the people who work there use.
Okay.
She's dragging you with her if you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go. I don't know if I'm too thrilled with this, but I'll go.
Okay. The unthrilled Conn goes along. And I think that we can, we'll cut to a scene where you're in the stables and Filthy Jane is coming on to you. So it's clear she has one thing in mind here, but you are, she kind of tricked you into coming out there. Help me with something. And you're actually in the top of the stables. And
so you have all the way to the top of the stables?
Well,
we're just fast track into that? What?
Yeah, we are. We are. But at this point, it's when you realize this isn't what this isn't what I was thinking, right?
No. Yeah, no.
So you can picture the window at the end of the stables is wide open. The rain's pouring down outside. You can look down into the inn. You see the lights going. You still see Stas probably has he's got something on his head. He's being the party animal that everybody's not paying attention to.
Yeah,
that type of thing. But you also see in the you can see the palisade from here. And the two shadows of the guards who are at the front gate, type of thing. But what's his initial reaction to when Filthy Jane is kind of getting handsy and making her intentions clear? Is Conn fighting her off? What's he doing?
Yeah, I'm just like, look, Jane, I don't know what you think is going to go on here. I got no time for this right now. I appreciate it. I'm flattered, but it ain't going to happen. But when you say that there's something going on in the palisade, do I see anything that I need to be concerned about?
No, what you can see is simply that you can see the basically the silhouette of the palisade, and you probably see instead of two guys up there, you probably see four. But all you see is the silhouette of their helmets and spears type of thing, right?
Yeah, cool. All right, yeah, no, I brush off her advances and I'm out of there.
All right. So as you're
I don't want to hook up. I got high standard. Conn has high standards. Filthy Jane,
dude, you're in the Forbidden Lands.
Doesn't matter.
This isn't Fifth Avenue, my man.
Doesn't matter.
I just love that again. It was a Harrigan character going after a Phil character.
So Conn's in the middle of when he realizes oh no kind of thing, right?
No,
everything Phil just described.
Not happening.
In the courtyard below, between the barn, the stables, and the inn, you hear something land on the ground, kind of like a kind of thing.
Oh, definitely gonna go check that out.
Okay, as you look down, you see an arrow sticking out of the dirt in between the two buildings.
Okay, and are we?
But by the way, Jane's like, "Come on, what's it going to hurt you? You're going to be back out in the wilds for So you're kind of having to do a little slap fight the whole time." But
sure, yeah, yeah. Whoa! An arrow just flew over the palisade wall into the compound here, and I immediately go down the ladder as quick as I can. And I guess I'm gonna probably rush over to the palisade wall because I need to figure out where that arrow came from. Obviously, it came from over the wall. And do I get to maybe get close to the arrow? Does it look orcish?
Well, the arrow's actually as soon as you come out of the stables, it's pretty close. It's 10 feet away.
Yeah, I'll run over.
It landed. It's certainly closer than the palisade.
Sure. All right, I'll run over and just check that arrow, the fletchings, real quick.
So the arrow absolutely looks orcish.
Oh Jesus!
And it has parchment or paper or hide or something it's been rammed through it. And maybe there's a message on this arrow.
All right. I'll rip the arrow out of the ground and I'll head into the inn where it's dry before I open this thing up.
Okay. Got it. Jane's coming behind you, downtrodden, downcast.
Sure.
Fine. This was your one chance, Conn. You're like, I've got my arrow.
If you're really looking for some action tonight, my buddy Stas, he's the one you want.
Oh, man.
All right. So close up of Filthy Jane smiling. and then we cut to Conn getting in the back door. And what do you do, Conn, when you walk in and there's all this, people cheersing and singing, and Askelon's probably still doing his thing with his Raven song and all the rest.
If there's like a corner or somewhere, great, and just try to head over to it and then take this piece of leather that's through the arrow and pull that off and try to see what is this.
All right, I'm sure there is a table. So you do this by yourself. You don't bring anybody else with you.
Not yet.
So as you unfurl this, and it is like a piece of hide, right? Thinned out and used as parchment, and it has a scrawl on it. Can Conn read? Alderlander?
I don't know if he would.
Want to throw me a D6? 4, 5, or 6. Conn knows how to read.
Sure. Well, his wits are high, but what would it be lore? Could it be lore? No, because they don't really do literacy in this game, do they?
They don't. If you want to make a wits check or a lore check, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Totally fine with that. You can push it if you want to.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm actually just taking it over to Askelon then if I can see where he is.
Yeah, you basically unroll it and you're like, it's writing. And you can recognize that it's writing, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll look for Askelon.
All right, Askelon, you're finishing up your song, and here comes Conn. What do you do?
Okay, first off, I'll say, another round of applause for the benefactor for our feast. So, pop up Stas some more. And then I'll read the note.
So Conn has brought you this sort of, roughly cut piece of hide that has scrawled on it in a very crude hand. It says trade for shelter. 3 words.
Okay.
Crudely drawn. Crudely written. Trade for shelter.
Is the blacksmith here? Stas?
He is not.
I'll say that I will read. I'll tell them what it says.
Trade for shelter doesn't make much sense. What do you mean? Like they're out? Why wouldn't they just bang on the gate?
I guess that's what they want to trade. I don't know.
And this is an orc writing, right? It's human scrawl.
This is in Alderlander.
It's in Alderlander. I don't know I can't tell by the penmanship, although it's very crude.
Askelon, clearly written by a finger.
Okay.
Probably in some bodily fluid or another.
Very crude.
Could this be the orcs then?
I guess it could be. Is Garm here, or is he's already gone to bed?
I think he went to bed, but I mean, he wasn't much long ago. We could probably wake him up. I think he'd still be awake.
I think this needs to go to. Yeah, we could do that, but this needs to go to Stan. Do you know where he lives?
I don't know. I just know the blacksmith shop.
He lives in the back of the smithy.
Okay. Let's show it to Garm and then let's get it over to Stan before we don't want to keep them waiting.
All right. Are we dragging Stas with us, or has he made his own bed?
Is he there?
Stas? Thank you. Well, look, he's right over there making an ass of himself.
Indeed.
All right. I will just try to get his attention and point up the stairs, and let's go up there. We'll wake up Garm.
All right.
Stas, you go along.
You're muted.
Muted.
I suppose I do. I probably am. Probably excuse myself from the crowd and apologize for having to leave. And I walk over to the steps. I go, "What are you guys doing? I'm killing. Like, what's up?" I'm murdering out there. Like they love it.
There's like 2 people left in the conversation. He had like 10 around him before, and now there's like 2 left who are listening to his stories.
I gotta get some rest. I just don't feel very empathetic.
All right, the 3 of you climb the stairs. Garm, what is an orc's bedtime ritual? How does Garm prepare himself for snoozing in an inn?
Well, I think probably because it hasn't been too terribly long. Like he's been in this room already once before, twice.
Yep.
I can't remember how many days we've been here, but so he's got his sword kind of propped up against the bed. He's got a knife that he was tucking under the pillow probably as you guys opened the door. And he had just taken off his armor and like set that on a chair, and he's kind of got like a long draped over like shift, like whatever you wear under armor. Considering he doesn't really wear other clothes. So he kind of turns around. Huh? What's up? What? Oh, yeah.
Put some clothes on for Pete's sakes.
He sits down and grabs a blanket and puts it over his lap.
Jeez.
Why are you? What's wrong?
I'll hand him the note.
What are we doing here? You guys just said it was something to talk about.
Garm reads it over or looks at it.
Can Garm read?
Nope.
Yeah.
This looks but I've seen a lot of different people write. They don't write well. What's it say?
Trade for shelter.
Oh, what'd you
It was
any
found
kind of
on an
notes?
orc arrow.
There we go. Well, that's not good. And then he stands up and he starts putting his armor on.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, my people don't necessarily all talk real well with the others. So they may have taken this to be their attempt at saying, we want to trade for shelter. But it also may mean like they will believe they've sent their message, so they're just going to wander in. So we may want to go talk to folks at the gate or go talk to Stom.
Yeah, we should find him right away then.
Yep. I'm going to finish putting my armor on, though, because sometimes this doesn't work out well.
Hey, wait a minute. Have we thought this all the way through? Like, I thought we were leaving tomorrow morning. I advocated for us to communicate with the orcs and get in with their good graces and help them. And now you guys, and you said no. Right? We like, were we all like together a few days ago? Like, I don't know, yesterday talking about this, and now we want to talk to the town guy, Stom, and then like maybe talk to the orcs and facilitate this. Like,
No, well,
is that what we're
Stom
doing?
needs no.
We just need to tell
We just need to
Stom.
stop. Yeah, Stom needs to know that there's orcs at the gate.
We told him.
No, like they're
Yeah.
at the gate now.
Well, I told him Rust Brothers, orcs, like they're in a bit of a pickle here. And hey, I don't know about you guys, but hey, that way we were going that way. We just happened to come across this place. I think we've lived pretty high on the hog for the last day or two. But hey, we can mosey, I guess. Like, I got a contact here. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, there's
are we-
orcs outside the gate, though. Wait, you just mosey right
Are we
past them?
leaving now?
It's four
Like-
of us. Yeah, we could leave in the morning, and we could even see them if they're out there. We could.
You're making no village in the morning.
Well, then we could leave. I got to get some rest, man. I am really not. I don't care about people at all right now.
There's a blank stare from Garm at Stas.
We need to go. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's just pack up our stuff and go.
No, let's tell Stom.
Why do we? Oh, see, we were on the same page up until Stom.
We could at least let him know, and if we decide to meander out, we can meander out.
It becomes
okay. So let's just play this through. All right. I don't know. Who's gonna tell him? I'm Conn, and you play Stam, and then you play Askelon.
We don't need to play any of this.
Hey,
we need to
we're just telling
Stam right now.
Stomp. There's orcs at the gate.
Hey,
That's it. And then we
we
go
got
back to
orcs
bed.
at the gate.
Yeah. That's it.
See you later. Oh,
Yeah.
Stam says, well, can you help us? No, we're leaving. We're getting the hell out of here. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to get overrun by orcs. They shouldn't probably get overrun by orcs. You see the pickle here? There are four of us, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
I'm not doing it.
let's go, Askelon. We're going to go tell Stomp. Stas, go get some sleep if you're so crusty.
Oh, no. I gotta see how this goes. You guys will probably talk us into guarding the city, like the village, whatever you want to call this little hovel. I can't afford that. Now I'll never get any sleep. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go tell Stomp. Oh.
Okay, the three of you, or Garm, you accompanying as well?
Garm accompanies as well. He finishes kind of packing up all his stuff and
Pulling his armor on.
And he takes his sword and a shield and make sure he's ready to go.
What does he have for armor? Leathers?
Studded leather, yeah.
Studded leather. Okay. All right. So you're probably finishing strapping and all the rest as the four of you are coming down the stairs.
Yeah, I think you missed the buckle. Hey.
Oh, hey. Yeah. I can never get, I had that one time with.
Hey, barn door's open.
Oh. Sorry. Good thing nobody's looking that way on orc right now.
Just looking out for you.
Anybody remember the proprietor's name? I can pull it up here.
I think we have a handout.
You do. Arthand. So as the four of you come down the stairs, it's probably, I don't know, without the four of you there, things have dwindled a little bit. Things have quieted down inside the inn. There's probably a half dozen people still finishing their drinks and whatnot, getting ready to turn in. I think it's getting close to the end of the fourth quarter, so it's getting close to midnight. And Arthur looks up and is like, where are you all off to? It's the hour's late. We'll be closing up soon. Close to midnight, pitch black outside, pouring rain.
I haven't had a shower in a while, and I figured it would just be nice to go outside and take advantage of the downpour.
Filthy Jane says, I'll fetch you a bath. I'll start getting it ready now.
I don't think I need one. Conn? Maybe?
I'm good.
I think we're good, Lady Jane.
I'm good.
Or whatever your name is, lady. I don't know if I know your name.
Arthur says, where are you off to at this hour? There's nothing open. The town's closed up.
We need to wake up Stom.
Here we go.
Why?
Yeah, why?
What happened?
Askelon.
What happened?
Is he blocking the door or something?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
He's behind the bar.
I feel there's a sense of urgency to this.
He just sees the orc of this armor back on, and the four of you are heading for the door. She's like, where are you going?
I would say we'll fill you in just as soon as we can. I'm just going to go out into the rain.
Conn follows.
Garm follow. And Stas, last out the door.
Yeah.
As Stas goes, he says, I'll keep the door open an hour, no more. All right.
Thank you.
The four of you find yourself out in the muddy, mucky village street. And, you're by now relatively familiar with the village. You know exactly where to go to get to the blacksmithy. Sort of left to the main gates that you came in when you first arrived in this village, or right up the street past you might remember, like the general goods shop and all that sort of stuff, up to the blacksmithy, and the temple's up that way as well. But it is dark, rainy, and there's no one on the street. So it's, just basically a downpour of rain, and the four of you now out in it getting wet. Do you head for Stoms? Okay.
Yeah.
So doesn't take long before you get up there and the shop is shut. So I think we described before that there's some sort of supports that can be taken down and the whole front wooden part of the shop closes down. So he's got it all closed up. So there are no lights on. You're at the front of the smithy. It's dark. Conn pounds on the door. After about your 10th knock or pound, you hear from inside, "What? What? What time is it? Who's out there? I'm coming." And the door to the side of the shop part opens up, and it's the old blacksmith that you've seen before with the white beard and the bald head. And he kind of leans out and is like, "What? Why are you here? What's happened?"
Conn?
Orcs are at the gate. At least we think so. This note came from an orc arrow. It's written in the human tongue. Askelon said that, so what's it? Trade for shelter. That's what it reads.
Stom grabs it from you and kind of unrolls it, looks at it in the rain. This came how?
By an arrow over the palisade, landed in one of the courtyards.
Over the wall.
Yeah, it's just a message. Trade for shelter.
Have you told the guards at the gate?
Not yet. We just wanted to let you know first.
It says,
It's your
"Stay
village.
here.
It's your problem.
Stay here." Door closes, and then maybe 20 seconds later, the door opens up, and he's basically got it. All he's done is pull a heavy cloak over his shoulders. He was in his nightshirt before, but not only does he have a cloak over his shoulders, but he also has an axe in his hands. Do you think they're coming? Do you think they're going to try and breach the gates? And he pushes past you and starts leading, sort of walking back towards the southern part of the village, towards that gate.
I'm
Do you
going to
think
say,
they're coming?
Stan,
Yeah.
listen to Garm.
He turns and
I'll
looks at
turn it-
Garm.
What do you think this means?
Every clan is a little different, but probably they view this as their attempt at saying they're willing to trade for shelter, and they may not.
Shelter.
Yeah, they may feel rightful in just barging through the gates, or they may stop at the front of the gates and ask again.
But it sounds like you have a chance to end this. You have a chance for this not to end in bloodshed. It's unusual for the orcs to do something like this, I would think.
Yes, it is not normal. They would normally just take what they need.
Stom nods and says, "I know 2 villages they burned."
These may not be the same orcs.
That's
and they are different. And I'm just saying, if you don't want to fight, it looks like you have a chance to not have a fight if you figure out what's going on.
Stom looks at Garm and he goes, "This one seems different. Are they like you? Are they from your clan?"
No, they are not. If they're the ones we ran into on the road, they are not like our clan. They have been. It seems like they have been rousted by the Rust brothers, defeated, and then we're trying to run away from them. But I'm guessing they saw this, and he kind of points to the palisade, and they would like to more than likely hold up here and maybe heal up. Many of them were very injured from what we saw.
So they're on the run?
Seems like it. If they're the same orcs that we saw before. They had their mother with them, which normally you never move the mother.
While you're talking, you're walking towards the main gate. And as the 5 of you now cross and, come in front of the inn, which is still lit up, and you come to the gate, Stom calls up to his men, like, "Boys, guards, what do you see up there? Are there orcs outside?" So
maybe you should just yell through the whole town.
I lowered my voice. So you can see in the dim light of the moon, which is mostly covered by the cloudy sky, and the rain, the four faces from up above, and they all kind of shrug, and then they turn back to the palisade so they can look out over that field that is approaching the village, and also where they have that the tower that has the arbalist in it, if you remember that. And then they turn back, and one of them's like, "I don't see anything. It's dark out there. What are we looking for? An orc army?" John just looks at the four of you and says, "But how can we be sure this is not a ruse?"
Sure. There's plenty of people that shoot an arrow into the village and ask for solace inside. Sure. Totally possible. To what end?
Well, what do you recommend then? We open the gates. We don't even know where they are.
See what you guys got us into? See? This is what I'm talking about. They're going to want us to do this. We're going to have to do this.
Garm, do you know, a way to call them to parlay? I don't know what that...
Parlay doesn't have a great word in the orcish tongue.
There's no word.
We have win or lose. We have those two words.
And we have a lot of words for fight.
Guys, I have to see my wife for 1 second. Keep talking. I can hear for the most part. Just give me one second. Keep talking.
So which way did the arrow point from the ground? Which direction did it come from? Who retrieved it? Conn?
Yeah, I can show Stas. This is where the arrow must have flew from. This is where it landed. Suggests it's over here. And I think when I looked out, it's in this vicinity.
So it must be out there, past the palisades. Sir, do you guys recall if there were tree line in that direction?
I think they had cut down a lot of the trees around it, didn't they?
It's a huge clearing so that they could shoot at the griffin. Or right. And they could see anybody approaching.
Yep, and then their cattle could graze.
But one of the orcs could have come up in the night in the rain and just come up short, shot an arrow over and ran off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They can't be sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
I wonder if someone went out with a torch and maybe the note and kind of stood in the in front of the palisade and just kind of waved it around if they'd get somebody's attention. Not that I'm volunteering.
Are we talking about this in front of the blacksmith?
Yeah, yes, we must have.
Or another idea is you just preset,
This is when there's a screen wipe and the four of us and the blacksmith are standing out in front of them.
Surely you've had these certain encounters before, Stam. How have you handled them in the past?
We've had no orcs coming to our gates.
Rust Brothers?
We've been hearing stories. No, the Rust Brothers, I told you before. What we know of the Rust Brothers, they're way to the west of here. Way
Not
west.
anymore. Not
Goblins?
anymore.
What do you have never had anybody intrude upon your village?
Griffin. He looks at the four of us.
Not an army. Yeah. He gestures to the tower. Actually, he doesn't because you probably can't see it from inside. Says that tower out front. We built that because we're worried about just this kind of thing. We're building one on the other side of the village right now. Maybe you saw that construction. We're concerned.
Is anybody in the tower?
Yes, there should be 2 men up there.
Like out there? He points outside the palisade.
Aye.
Do you have a way to communicate with them?
We send a runner. What do you all suggest? You're talking a lot. But if there's really orcs out there, you do what you're going to do. I'm going to rouse the rest of the barracks. He turns and he heads for there's a squat building along the front palisade wall. And you suspect there's another probably half a dozen soldiers that he can rouse. So he heads off to do that. What do the four of you do?
I look at Askelon, Conn, Garm, and I go, it appears our job is done here. Let's go back, grab our stuff, and head out.
Well, we're not heading out tonight. It's pitch and rain in the dark. I thought we were going in the morning.
So now it's like, do we want to be around when the orcs take this place? We want to hold out till the morning? I say we do it by dawn.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, then let's go back to the inn and get some sleep.
Sure.
Fine. Great.
Do you really think this is gonna we're gonna get a good night's sleep when the orcs come over the freaking walls, man?
Well, we'll cross that bridge if we get to it.
The sooner we get to sleep, if the
I don't
orcs
really
attack
want-
in an hour or two, at least then we'll have an hour or two sleep. Otherwise, if we don't sleep now, that's 2 hours of no sleep. Then the orcs breach the walls and we have no sleep. I would rather have the 1 to 2 hours of sleep. And I'm hoping for a little more. Who knows?
I
So
just
as-
don't think that's gonna happen.
It's a plan without fail.
As Stas makes his impassioned plea, one of the 4 soldiers above you on the palisade above the gate turns and says, "I see a light.
Ah,
I see a fire."
it's a mirage, you fool. Look closer. Get out there if you think it's a light.
Out there.
That means we're not going to get any sleep. God damn it.
Can I see? Can we see with the light?
You cannot because you're not up on the palisade.
Oh, I'm sorry. All
I
right.
You're on the-
trust
you're
them. I trust them. There's a light. Let Stam handle it. This is his
There-
area. His people.
There are rough-hewn steps leading up to that platform they're on, though, certainly. If you wanted to go up there, nothing's stopping you.
Sure.
We should go up there and deal with this. I mean, these are your people. It might not be your clan, but at least these are your people. You understand them best. You probably should be the one to treat with them.
And done.
Before Garm goes up the palisade, he'll turn to Conn and say, "Do you view this village part of our clan, part of our group? Do we want to protect it, or are we?"
No, this is not part of our clan.
Don't ask this. Who, Conn? You're asking
I just
Conn?
said no, it's not.
I know, but
Okay.
he shouldn't even be asking you. We're not orc. We're not part of the village. We are merely travelers on a
So
quest for the
as-
Bear Reach. And I'm going to get there.
So as Conn says that, and then as Stas is spitting and gesticulating, Askelon, over your shoulder, we get a quick zoom in of the temple and of the
Okay.
woman who resides within, and of the bond you've forged with her so far.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I know.
And then we're back to Stas spitting and finishing his whatever it takes.
I figured I was already going up the stairs when they had
All
that
right.
conversation, so I didn't
Got it.
participate. Sorry.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So when you get to the top of the stairs and look over, I mean, it's dark out there, right?
Right.
It is and I heard you guys when I was out of the room here. It is indeed denuded of trees. It's been cut down so that there are good lines of sight, but it's pitch black. You can see the outline of the tower, and well past that, down close to maybe where you met the shepherd boy when you talked about the griffin and all that sort of stuff. You see a light down about that far away, so a couple of 100 yards from the village, you see a light.
How is that further than the guard tower with
It
the
is.
arbalest?
Guard tower is maybe halfway, maybe 100 yards from the gate. Another
Okay.
100 yards past that, you see what looks like probably a torch or a campfire. Hard to tell at this distance, but it's a light.
All right, I'll yell that down to them.
Garm climbs the stairs and stands next to Askelon to take a look as well.
It's not easy to see since it's raining and it's dark, but you definitely think there's somebody's got a fire out there.
Man, if we had like a spyglass or something, we could look.
I don't know if I'd have mine on me. If I have mine on me, I just roll my eyes. And then if I have it on me, I reluctantly pull it out with just grinding my teeth to no end. Just like you could hear him just and I pull it out and I just stick it out in front of me, not to anybody. I just go like this.
So the only person down here with you is Conn.
Oh, that's right.
The other two are up top. Conn, do you ferry it up?
Probably need this.
I'll take it from Stas with a wry smile and climb up the stairs after the other two.
Okay. You pound up those stairs. You're all pretty sodden by now from the rain, by the way, kind of getting soaked to the bone because the rain's coming down so hard. But sure enough, there's a spyglass that Stas has handed over.
I'm going to turn to Garm and I'll say, Garm, listen, the healer for this village entrusted something very precious to me, and she really helped me, and part of her faith involves the bond between my people and theirs, and I don't want to leave them to be, to get into a fight that doesn't need to happen with your kind. I know they're not your tribe, but whatever we could do to try to prevent this, I would like to do. But I'm not asking you to do anything you don't want to do.
Do you view her as family?
I don't think that means the same thing to our people.
That's true.
But I feel like I have a debt to repay. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense. Okay. Garm starts to loosen up. It's like, okay.
Is someone using the spyglass?
Garm wouldn't look at it. He would hand it off to somebody else.
I was given it, so I guess Conn will be the one who takes it out of the casing and I guess makes a scouting roll with it to see what he can see through it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a scouting roll.
Okay. Modifier? Maybe just it in the wash because of the rain?
No modifier. You're going to see something. You'll see more if you succeed.
Beautiful.
That's a lot of dice. And
did I hit the right thing?
You threw like 20 dice.
That looked wrong. That was I should have been 5 dice. What happened?
Twice.
Oh, I rolled it twice. Okay, so the first roll, both of them were 0. Yeah.
Wow.
Go figure. Yeah.
So that could have been a push as well, and nothing. All right. So here's what you see. So it takes you a minute to kind of dial in because it is far away. If you guys have ever used a pair of binoculars, like really high magnification binoculars or telescope, your field of vision is like this big, right? So Conn's really having to sweep back and forth. You see a figure, maybe more than one. It's really hard to tell. Like the background is inky black, and the figure is like dark gray, and they're waving this. You can see it's a brand, it's like a firebrand, like a torch. Then they're waving it, and that's about all you can see. And they're pretty tiny still, and you're so zoomed in, your grip is not steady enough to get a really good view.
I give it a shake, give it a slap. I mean, Stas isn't there, right? So I give it a slap. I can't see a bloody thing through this water. Close it up. Rubbish. I can't figure out what's out there. I see some figures. There's a few of them. I don't know. Don't tell them I said this, but I kind of agree with Stas. This really isn't our problem. Maybe we should just head to bed. They're out there. They're wet. This is Stom's problem. We're getting out of here in the morning.
Garm just looks between Stas or Conn and Askelon.
What does our elf friend say?
I think you're deluding yourself if you think that we're going to get any kind of sleep with a freaking village under attack. I mean, come on. The inn is right there.
That's if it is under attack. It's not under attack yet.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe Stomp opens the door. He'll trade with whoever's out there.
All right, go ahead and go.
Or Stomp starts a dialogue. I don't know. Maybe we light up a brand and wave it around to acknowledge they're out there. Maybe they come close. We see who they are.
All right, you go on back to sleep.
No, I'm not going to go up to. I'm not going back to sleep yet. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I sitting there. I'm like pouting, stammering around, freaking kicking shit on the ground, grumbling. And then I'm sitting there
Soaking
waiting
wet.
for these guys. Yeah, soaking wet. It's the sound of the rain. I'm just so super annoyed. It's dripping down my face. Clean my face off. Throw the water on the ground. Finally, I just look at them and I'm like, obviously they're not doing anything. So what are you ding dongs gonna do? I'm gonna go get some sleep. I will be in the end if you need me, and if there's an attack, sound the horns, and I march off.
Okay. Stas heads back to the White Raven. What do the other three of you do? You can now see, by the way, Stas, you saw this as well, but you're too wound up in your own drama. But the barracks is now lit up, and you can tell that there are people inside, like donning gear, waking, putting equipment on, that kind of thing, right?
If they come marching down the middle of the village, I just go right up the middle. Go.
Out of my way. All right, Stas is marching off. What do the other three of you do? You're at an impasse. How do you solve this impasse?
Well, I don't think I can negotiate for the village, so I'm going to need the Stan to come out. I'm going to try to convince him to come out and let's talk to them. That's where I'm going.
So after Stas marches off, Stom leads the other. There's probably five men who are still adjusting their leather mail and their shields and whatnot. Kind of have clearly been woken up, but Stan is back out in the rain, looking up at you like, "What do you see? What's changed?"
There's some figures waving a branch about 200 yards out, and I guess it's them. They're wanting to parlay. I'm willing to go with you to try to solve this peacefully. But,
Stan, go ahead.
But you need to think, if you want to solve this peacefully, they're going to want, if it's the group that we ran into, they're really hurt and injured, and they're afraid of being attacked by the Rust brothers. So, they're desperate enough. They may try to take the village if you don't come to some kind of agreement with them to give them some kind of shelter. So I advise you to think about what that could be, what you'd be willing to live with.
He runs a hand through his beard. He's like, "Shelter, so inside the walls."
Probably.
Orcs inside the walls.
I know. Or maybe, is there somewhere else or something else you could do for them? Build, put up some tents right outside the wall so that they have some protection. And you maybe make a deal that if the Rush brothers come, if they will help defend the village, that they can come inside, if that comes to pass. But give them some kind of shelter. Maybe ask, I'm forgetting her name. I'm sorry, y'all.
Ori?
Ori, to help heal their wounded.
These are difficult decisions in the middle of the night. You'll come with me? He points to all three of you.
No. Just light a branch and wave it around and get them, signal to them that we see them, and then get them to come close to the walls, find out what they want, see who they are. Probably know they could be the Rust brothers trying to trick us, lure us out there.
He nods. All right. But he points back at Askelon. You'll help me parlay with them?
Yes, as best I can.
And what about you, Orc?
I will help as best as I can as well.
He looks at his men. He says, prepare a burning branch, a torch, wave it. See if you can't get them to come closer. I'm going to put my mail on. He turns and hurries up the street past the White Raven back to his blacksmith shop, where he's going to clearly kit himself out for battle if it's needed.
Smart.
I'm going to go run tell Ori what's going on. I don't want to necessarily take a whole long time to do, it's up to you how you want to do that.
Okay.
I just want to wake her up and let her know what's going on.
What to Conn? So Stas, let's do Stas for a minute first. You get back to the White Raven, and the innkeeper's like, well, that didn't take very long. You're back. Where are your friends? Your friends, you're muted.
I am visibly perturbed. So, red face, even though it's probably cold outside and I'm wet and just drenched, as walk in and stop and getting bombarded with questions. And I'm like, fools. They're all fools. I told them they wouldn't listen to me. Nope. Now look at what's going on. I'm going to sleep.
You pound up the stairs.
I pound up the stairs.
All right.
Water everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
dripping all over. As I get up to the top of the stairs, I turn around and I go, I apologize for all the water. Didn't mean to make a
All right.
mess.
So we'll make this the end of Q4. So for Q1 the next day, Stas is trying to rest, correct? He's sleeping.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Don't ruin my plan. I got one empathy point left. I just need a quarter of rest.
He's at the end of his rope. Got it. All right. And then Askelon, you make your way down from the palisade platform to the muddy streets below and wind your way after. You're kind of trailing behind Stan as he makes his way north. You're heading to the temple. Garm and Conn. So the two of you are left with the basically 4 soldiers who are nervously looking at that distant flame over the palisade, and then the 5 below who are marshaling and continuing to get their gear on, that sort of thing. What do the 2 of you do?
Is there any overhang or anything we can kind of get under to get out of the rain?
If you were to come down off the palisade platform, you could actually get under that platform and get out of the rain. Yeah.
That's what Garm does.
Conn's going to stay up on the top, keeping a lookout.
Okay.
Let me know if you see anything.
Yeah.
Askelon, what is your approach for approaching the darkened temple? Stan carries on past it, heading for the blacksmith shop. You can tell, you know that he's going to get himself ready, but the temple is closed up tight this time of night.
I don't think I have a lot of time, so I'm just going to. Well, I'll see if it's unlocked, and if it is, I'm going to go inside and just start calling her name.
Okay. You know what? I'd say it is unlocked in terms of the where you get in to do the worship part of it,
Right.
not the back room and all that sort of stuff. So to not spend too much time on this, you eventually rouse her. She comes out to the same room where you guys had done your ceremony earlier, where you were singing together and where you had the townsfolk in there, and where, later privately she revealed the elven heart to you and all that sort of stuff. So she comes out, she's in her, night robes, and it's just like, Askelon, it's so late. What's happened?
We think there's a group of orcs outside who are trying to parlay with the town for some kind of sanctuary. We ran into a group of orcs several days ago that were fleeing Rust Brothers. This may be the same ones we ran into. And they were in very desperate shape. And it was my friend Garm, the orc, who had to fight one of them in some kind of duel of honor, and he won, and we were able to kind of part with them peacefully. But I told Stan that I think he should try to parlay with them to try to not have a huge fight with them. So I think that they're going to need, if we can solve this, they're going to probably need some healing. And I wanted to let you know and see how you felt about it and give you a chance to prepare.
So she crosses the intricate marble floor that's been laying here, 100 years ago or more. Comes up right up to Askelon and says, "You know that many orcs don't like your kind, don't you?
Yeah.
That they resent what happened before."
I know that, but I feel some, bond with you and your village here, and I do not want there to be bloodshed.
And you think they are running from the Rust Brothers?
The group that we encountered had been driven out of their lands by the Rust Brothers, and we saw the Rust Brothers following them. Now, we made our way to your village by a different path, but these may be the same orcs. And I don't understand this completely, but their mother, the female who was their leader, was sick, and that had been injured, and the group of orcs were very desperate to try to save her.
So they may be leading a larger party of Rust Brothers right to us.
Right. And that's already been done, if that's the case. And even though they are injured and they may be your best bet to fight them off, if you can ally with them. I know that's hard, and I can't promise that, but that may be your best shot. Certainly having a fight with them and then having to fight the Rust Brothers would be the least, beneficial outcome.
When you admitted or acknowledged that the Rust Brothers were probably following them, they were leading a large group of them here, you could see the color drain from her face. And you know what Rust
I
Brothers
do know what that means. Right.
Yeah, due to Raven sisters and villages that worship the Raven. So what she does is that she just kind of bows her head a bit and says, "I'll do whatever I can." Where are you gathered?
By the front gate. We're waiting for Stan to put on his mail. Okay.
She turns and heads back for her quarters behind the temple and says, "I'll be there as soon as I can. Give me just a few minutes." And I've seen a couple of folks asking for bio breaks here, so let's do that. Let's take 5, and we will return with Stas warm in his snug bed and everybody else out in the rain. Phil's back. We can resume here. So if no one minds, we'll do a little bit of a smash cut to a little bit later. Mm-hmm. If that's cool. So I think when we pick up, you've left the main gate. So Stas is in the inn. So we're going to put him aside for a minute. But the other 3 of you, Conn and I guess you can tell me, but it sounds like Askelon and Garm at least would accompany Stan Stom and his men outside. And when we pick up, they are near the tower with the arbalest in it, and they have several torches bound together, and they're burning them, trying to clearly get the attention of the other torch that's further in the distance. Is Conn with them?
Yeah, I guess my impression was maybe that we would try to burn some kind of torch or something from our palisade. But if Stom sends the order that they do it out there, and they head towards that tower, then Conn will go with. I'm fine with that.
Did anybody else lose Phil?
No.
My phone's interfering with my headset. Hang on.
I hear him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your headset's blinking. Not that you may be able to hear.
He can't hear probably any of us.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I missed that, Phil. Say that one more time.
Yeah, no problem. I was under the impression that when we lit our torch on fire, we'd be doing it from our palisade. But
Okay.
but saying that, Harrigan, if you got something in mind and you want Stom and a bunch of people to go out to the next tower, Conn will go with. I'm fine with that.
Stom is going to recommend that you do it from the tower.
Cool. Go with.
Okay. And Askelon and Garm are there as well. And when you start waving the torch around, the other flame indeed starts to get closer and closer, and you can tell that they are approaching. And when they get to within probably, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah. As the flame starts coming closer, Garm moves purposely towards the back of the group. He wants to be within like hearing distance, but not be immediately visible necessarily, other than like another body. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay.
And what Stan has done is take the 5 guys from the barracks with him, and then you 3 as well. Ori is, I think, probably Wayne. She's back up on the palisade platform overlooking. So she's close by, but she's not outside the gates. The gates have been closed again behind you. All right, so Garm, you fade to the background a little bit as the torch gets closer and closer, and everyone can see that there are 2 orcs who approach, and you recognize them. It's the one who was a spokesman before, the one orc who was reasonably well spoken, and there's also an orc who has bandages around the front of his face, who once upon a time had a sword thrust through his face by Garm. But there's a moment when the 2 groups are standing. It's really just the 2 orcs, and then it's the, I think there's probably 7 of you or 9 of you or something like that. 5, 6. There's actually 9 of you, and the orc who was the sort of the spokesman before when you met them west of here near the tower comes forward and says, "We wish to treat. We wish for shelter. We will pay." Stom looks at the 2 of you who are nearby, as in, I think you're right. We don't normally welcome orcs in our gates. What do you have to offer, orcs? Why do you seek shelter? So the Rust brothers burned out our village, burning the elven woods. They're burning everything, taking it all. We will pay you so we can sleep within your walls, treat our wounded, eat, and recover. Stom turns and looks at Garm behind him, who's slightly in the shadows, and says, "Do you trust him? Do you trust this one?"
Garm steps forward then and says, "We meet again, Roguta." That was me frantically scrolling. And he says, and he turns to, he looks him up and down. Is his physical form still that of speaking truthful? Do I sense any ruse about him?
About the one who is speaking?
Yes. Yeah, he looks them both over.
No, but you have insight. You can roll here if you'd like to.
Mm-hmm. I would do that.
Okay. You're not sure. You can push if you need to. It's dark. It's pouring rain.
Oh, yeah.
Last time you saw them, there were certainly more than 2 orcs. There's only 2 orcs right now.
Right. And that one was tricksy a little bit, or just more intelligent than the other one. Anyway.
Argo, the speaker, seemed to be the one who just has his wits together. Roguta was the one that got in your face, and that you dueled. And in fact, as you're deciding on whether you're going to push this or not,
mm-hmm.
Roguta sees you and comes forward, and you can just see these like, "Roar, roar," he kind of points, and the other orc kind of calms him a little bit as they recognize you.
Mm-hmm. We've had our fight. Kind of looks them both up and down. Stom, it's your decision, but I believe they've spoken truthfully about all the events that have led them here.
I'm gonna lean over to Garm. I'm not gonna talk to the orcs. I'm gonna say, would they swear on the life of their mother not to cause any harm or any damage?
Perhaps. And Garm will kind of take a second and kind of roll his shoulders out. And then he'll lean over to Stan and say, you could ask them to swear on the life of their mother. That means a lot to orc tribes.
That so that they won't harm anyone?
Right, yeah, sorry.
I suggest adding that if the Rush brothers come, that they will aid you in fighting them. Or join you. Maybe that might come over better with the orcs.
Stan leans in and says, Elf, you're awfully well spoken. What you could tell them this.
I don't know, that's gotta come off. Why don't you do
What does Askelon do?
Garm looks at Askelon because he's bringing it up, and then Stan has clearly kind of made it you could do this, and he kind of takes it all in, and then he turns and he turns to Argo and Roguta and says, "Swear on your mother that you will not harm the people, that you will freely trade according to their customs, and that you will come to the aid of the village should the Rust brothers attack while you're still there. And Stom here will probably let you find shelter."
Stan looks very satisfied that he's able to have someone treat on his behalf. He's like, kind of plants his axe and is like, yeah. Two orcs. Argo looks at you, his head cocks a little bit. And he says, "We will discuss this. Wait." The two of them turn, and they plant their torch in the ground in front of them, sputtering and fizzing in the rain. And they turn and head back to a couple of other figures you can see in the darkness behind them, maybe 50 feet away or something like that. They confer briefly, and then 4 figures come forward. But you only see 4. So the last time you saw this group, there was a litter. There was a litter being carried by slave orcs. There were a number of wounded that you saw. You now see Argo and Roguta, with the 2 orcs that you just saw. You also see the squat orc with the flat-topped head, the archer, who Conn was kind of considering tangling with, I think, at one point, as that archer was in a flanking position, comma sneaking into the field type of thing. And then staggering behind these 3 comes the mother, no longer born. She's a large individual. She probably weighs 400 pounds, and she's sort of staggering as she comes. And she doesn't have giant tusks like the males do. But for whatever reason, she appears to be happy to let Argo do the treating. And as they come forward and back into their torchlight, he says, "We agree to your terms. We swear we will harm no one. We will help you." He spits, "Fight the Rust brothers. We need to rest. We have been traveling for days. Let us in your gates." Stom nods. It says, we will stable you behind the inn. We will move the horses, and you may stay in the stables." Conn, you have anything to add before Askelon chimes in here?
Oh, I'm all good with everything.
Askelon.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
I'm sorry to break into like game speak here, but does she look broken? I mean, is she like critically injured?
She's got a crutch, and now that you're seeing her in the torchlight and off the litter, she looks very, very pregnant. Is what she looks.
Oh,
There is all of them have wounds, right,
sure.
and are bandaged
Okay.
in parts, including her. But she's also very pregnant and barely able to walk.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get them in first, I guess.
Okay. So any specific plans as Stom's men basically fan out sort of on either side of them and they escort them towards the gates, right?
Garm will ask Argo and Roguta if he can help their mother walk in.
Okay, so as you come close to them, the whole group of you are now walking back towards the village. You get stink eye like you've never seen from Roguta, who's just like and like blood dribbles down, from a little bit of foam kind of bubbling out a little bit. He's just and Argo says, Roguta, and this is in Orcish, by the way, so the rest of you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Know your place. Regrow your tusks, sharpen them, then you may challenge him again. So he's basically telling him, settle down.
Right.
Roguta just kind of fades to the side a bit. And Argo says, she will give birth any day now. She's very injured. Anything this town can do to help, we will take. What do you offer?
Well, I was going to offer her an arm to lean on as walk in, but Askelon, and he kind of head nods towards where he is, where Askelon is. He or others he knows may be able to help further.
She will accept no help.
That's what I thought.
Not from an elf, especially. So you walk up to the gates. Askelon, what are you thinking as the gates, the men at the, on the palisade platform open the gates up and the procession proceeds through? What's Askelon thinking?
I want to go see. I want to try to intercept Ori and tell her, that she's pregnant.
She is above. So as you're approaching the palisade gates, you can see her up on the wall with two of the guards.
Okay. I will like wave her down and basically just tell her what I see. Their injuries, the fact that she's pregnant, that the mother is pregnant. I don't know I don't know what their feelings are, but I know that if we could, I didn't hear that discussion, so I'm going to say if we could help her, that would be good. That'd probably be good.
Yeah, you can tell she's pregnant, but beyond that, you're right. You didn't hear the discussion in English. Ori basically just says, "I'm coming," and she rushes to the side of the platform and descends the steps as the procession is proceeding through the gate. And
I'll also warn that everybody else is going to be very protective of her, so don't just like run up there.
And in fact, that's true, Wayne, where they're basically the other three are on all sides of her. So she's walking furthest from anybody else as she sort of staggers forward. Her strength and her endurance, you can tell, are just like incredible, that she's able to even move with the wounds that she has and being, clearly about to give birth or close to it. You all proceed inside. The gates are closed behind you. And I think that the inn is not that far away. So you head for the stables where the horses are let out and taken to a couple of different stables. Conn, you see it's the same stables where you were before.
Conn is kind of like, I feel like this business is done. And Conn actually wants to just go to the inn and go to bed, because I think we're going to be leaving in the morning, right?
Okay.
So I want to get some sleep. I don't need to see what goes down here.
All right. Conn peels off. Yeah, we can fast forward a little bit. Basically, where the orcs are setting up in the stables, putting blankets up and whatnot, and basically able to sort of take a breath for the first time clearly in days. They're exhausted. You can tell, just dead on their feet. Conn has already peeled off. What did Garm and Askelon do as the orcs are starting to make camp? And Stam is telling his guardsmen, keep an eye on this place, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Garm, as soon as they kind of get in the stables, Garm will move over to Askelon and say, the mother needs help, but will not accept help from you, unfortunately.
Right.
Maybe Ori, maybe could try. But man, they went from like a bunch of them. There's only 4 of them now.
I know. Well, we saw, the rustlers were so close to them. They must have caught up. They must have had a couple of escapes, which also means they may be close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to talk to Argo about it. And he kind of describes Argo, the other one that was near when I fought Roguta.
I'm going to go to the innkeep and see if I can get some food for them. But maybe you could advise Ori.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do need to get some sleep.
True.
Okay. So big picture wise, Askelon, you'll basically, and you've got the support of Stam here. So basically the kitchens get fired up in the inn to prepare some food for the orcs who are staying in the stables. And you're going to go to your Conn. You've already turned in, correct? And Askelon, is that what you're planning on doing as well? You're going to stay with Ori.
I think I'd be more of a detriment, other than relating to her what I just said. But I'll just, other than that, I would just tell Stam, that you should still be on alert, because the rush brothers could be close, and I'll, and then I'll go to bed, I guess.
He nods and says, I've got every soldier awake as it is. This is all we can do.
Okay.
But we'll keep watch. All right. So
is there a signal if they see something? Like what do they do on the wall?
If it's an immediate need, there's a bell they ring. Otherwise, they come find me. They get the rest of the men from the barracks, but we've already summoned them.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. All right, Askelon. So you're going to basically try to get some rest after that.
Mm-hmm.
Garm, what's your plan?
Garm doesn't sleep. He helps Ori and tries to be a go-between so that Ori can actually help the mother. And then outside of that, he wants to talk to the orcs and ask them about the rest of their trip and where everyone else went. And then otherwise he keeps an eye on if they get kind of restless, he'll stand outside the stables, maybe leaning against the inn and just watching the stables to make sure that they don't try anything.
Hangs out, kind of stuff. Helps, and then speaks with Argo. Okay, so I'll return to Argo in a minute. Stas, we do have a moment where everyone's turning in except for Garm, and the orcs have shut the doors of the stable and are kind of making it their own little place inside. Ori is in there as well, and you can tell that she's Garm, that she's trying to basically approach the mother to see how injured she is, how she can help. Maybe you can even act as a translator. I'll just cover this right now. Mm-hmm. The orc clan mother, let me get her name here and remember what it is. 1 second. Marava. Marava does not speak Alderlander, so you basically have to translate anything that Ori wants to speak to her. So there's a lot of you going back and forth over, trying to get the orc clan mother to understand that the Raven sister is here to help, et cetera, et cetera. So while you're doing that, Stas, you're woken by a rap on your door, and the door opens a crack, And to Phil's big smiles, it's filthy. It's filthy, Jane. So she has a pail of hot water. And she's like, I just saw when you came in, you look so cold and so uncomfortable. Do you need a bath? She slips inside the room. Sean's probably muted and wants to be.
God, blast it all.
So close to arrest.
What are you doing? Get out of this room. I need some sleep. I am tired. Please.
So she comes over to the side of the bed where you're laying down. There's just a moment where she kind of puts her hand on your arm, and you can tell what she's interested in. But if you continue to be like caustic and like get the hell out of here, she's going to turn tail. Basically,
I'm so irritated. Like I am like tired. I am drenched beyond belief.
He's 2 points of empathy away from a
The
good
group
time.
I'm with is like not cooperating. I'm doing everything in my power to not explode.
Got it. She's like, I'll just leave the water in the corner then.
Look, I am tired. I am wet. I am cold. And the party that I am adventuring with are running around like idiots. I just want some sleep. Do you understand?
She tucks Stas in and then she takes her leave.
Thank you.
Blanket around your neck.
Thank you.
Sleep well. She kind of strokes your wet hair out of your eyes.
Thank you.
And then she turns and goes.
Not necessary. Thank you. Thank you. You're a doll. Thank you.
All right. Stas back to sleep. Garm, what specifically? Eventually, you get the clan mother, Marava, to agree to have Ori look at her wounds. So Ori, she's now on the ground resting, and Ori is actually cleaning wounds and tending to her as best she can. You can tell there's a lot of tension between them because they can't communicate. Ori has done a lot of I'm completely empty-handed kind of thing as I try to help you. So there's a few moments where she's tending to these wounds that have been, she suffered days ago. So they're festering. The the clan mother is not in good shape. But what does Garm do when he finally manages to get the attention of Argo? So the other two orcs are now both resting as well. They've all been out on their feet, but Argo can tell that you want to have a word with him.
Hey, just quick question. What happened to the rest of your clan?
We were run down. They have horses. They have dogs. We lost them.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
He shakes his head. Well, we need join us, brother. We must take the fight back to them once we heal. We must. This land is ours, not theirs.
Garm kind of shakes his shoulders out while he's talking. Says, I'm bound for somewhere else. I'm not sure if I'll be here, but if they get here before my group leaves, we will fight together.
He raises his big bushy orc eyebrows and says, they're not far.
That's what I worry. But and he kind of will do this. My friend with the ears has bound himself somewhat too, and he will nod towards Ori. I don't think he'll let us leave before he knows they're safe.
How do you travel with him? They abandon us.
Well, my clan came up on hard times, and whether I abandoned them or they abandoned me, I ended up on my own, and he has accepted me. I figure one elf accepting me doesn't mean they all will, and he's also bound to leave this land as well. We're all leaving, going somewhere else, somewhere better.
Travel fellows make for strange friends.
It's true. Don't talk to that other guy with the axe. Yeah, he gets real angry.
All right. Anything else that Garm wants to cover?
Nope. He just kind of keeps watch, lets them go to sleep. He will tell Argo, I will watch over and make sure none of the villagers mess with you while you sleep.
All right. So one last thing happens in this quarter. This is now, we're talking Q1 of the next day, right? I'll advance the clock here. Give me a second to do that. I want to do... Okay, so it's basically early hours of the morning. Askelon, whether it's Garm or someone else, someone tries to summon you in the middle of the night because the clan mother is giving birth and Ori wants your help. What does Askelon do?
Yeah, now you did it. Well.
You're muted, Wayne.
Yeah.
I'll go.
All right. So without zooming too closely into this, let me look at Askelon's sheet for a second. I think we'll go for a healing roll.
Okay.
So you can basically assist Ori as she tries to deliver these orc babies. There are multiple. And for every success that you get, you can save one with your healing roll.
Wow. Okay.
It's a tough situation because she's so injured. They're coming early. Go ahead.
I have bandages. Can I use that to help with the delivery or the
100%. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So the other three of you will get to rest.
Oh,
Askelon
cool.
will not.
I deserve it or worse, but yeah, right. Awesome.
Scrambling to look for other abilities and such.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
That's
You're
okay.
fine.
The spell list is endless.
You can make up a spell. Just saying.
I mean, this is great. We're getting sleep. We're going to be able to go first thing in the morning. We're out of here.
Can't wait.
Why is my empathy damaged? Did I do
Yeah. Tell me about it.
It's because you have a mean GM who is unrelenting. That's why.
that?
Was it from the
roll?
performance?
Yeah, that's it. I feel that. No, I made the performance roll.
You did, but you pushed it.
I pushed it. That's it. Okay.
To try to get the additional benefit, which I dangled in front of you, and you didn't get.
All right.
Like a good GM.
All right. I will roll for healing.
All right. Okay.
So I got one. I'll push it if I can try to save another one.
So she could have triplets.
Holy
So you can
cow.
push. You
I
can
will
push.
it.
Oh dear.
Oh, jeez.
What's your empathy down to?
It's down to 1. Is there a way I could cast the spell?
Oh Lord, our necromancer steps to the fore. Little Alice Cooper dead baby's actually coming up.
I would hate to do that, but
They have hands.
little hands. You know what? You could put more of them in a belt pouch too. I'm sorry. Just saying.
Terrible.
Content warning.
Yes.
Yeah, really. Sorry.
This is a Brett episode. Dead babies.
Oh yeah,
Great.
yeah. I did want to go there. I mean, could I, if one of the babes is just, the delivery was just too hard on it, could I try my magic on it to try to revive one of those? Just healing hands.
And that's the spell that lets you like recover strength.
Strength. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to give you no difficulty. In fact, I'd even let you try it for both babes if you wanted to.
I'll do that, and I'll pull out my candle. Yay!
All right, so we can see this desperate, scene where the one babe is in their arms, but the other two are not doing well. And Askelon, you've taken them aside and are going to try to do what you can.
Right. I pull out a candle, and I put it down between them, and I light it. And since it's been kind of my shtick, I'll be like singing in their ears. And I'll take some of the wax, and I will like dip my hand in the candle wax, and I will draw the sign of clay, because I think that's who the orcs worship, and he's also the god of healing. On the bottoms of their feet in the hot wax, and because I figure the orcs would do some pain too. I mean, it's all right, and see if I can revive them.
Love it. I will warn you, if you don't succeed at all, the orcs may not think very highly of what you're trying to do.
I get it. Power level 3.
Holy moly.
What? So you spent 2 willpower points?
One.
No, I had 1, and then the candle.
Oh, the candle gives you 1.
6, and then I rolled a 6. So right. So I got 3.
Okay. Oh, so
Wow.
You know what? Let me rewind for a second here. And now that I'm remembering how magic works, you're not going to make a skill roll. I was thinking you would make you rolled healing for the birth itself. Now you're rolling.
And then I roll to revive the ones that are not doing well.
I'm with you. And basically, what I need to do is figure out how many strength points they need back, right?
Right. I got 3 back.
Yeah. And is the spell lower than your level? Do you have to risk anything?
Yes.
Or you can save cast it?
I could save cast it, but I didn't. I went ahead and rolled. So
let's do this. Let's say to save these babes, you need to recover 2 points of strength for each of them. So this first one was successful. You brought one of them is now crying and coughing. So there's blood all over. One of the other orcs takes the babe out of your hands, though, kind of reverently, as the mother is half unconscious and recovering, or he's treating her. And there's the one babe left on the ground that you can make another roll for.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save.
Unless you don't want to.
One. I'll save cast this one if I can. I mean, I've got. But if I can't, I'll just go ahead and roll.
Let's find out if you still have enough candle left. Roll me a resource die.
Right.
On a 1 or a 2, your candle has gone out. You don't have enough left. got to make it a little bit harder.
Sure. Okay. All right.
All right.
Roll.
So your candle has gone out, and you have to risk casting
All
because
right.
you're not going to get the extra. You're not going to get the free PowerPoint.
I cast. Got power
But-
level 1.
Unless you
Oh, I
spend.
need 2. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking, man. Can I just re-roll it? Or not? That's fine.
Well, what were you doing?
I could have spent 2 willpower points. I didn't think about it.
I mean,
but
if you do that, that means you throw 2 dice, right?
right.
Just throw another die. We'll see what happens.
All right.
So the extra, all it would be is a potential mishap because your 2
Yeah.
willpower turn into 2 power points, and you have saved all 3 children. So when dawn comes and it's no longer raining, there are 3 yowling orc babies in their mama's arms, and Askelon is exhausted, and Ori is exhausted. And I think there's a lot of orc celebration that all 3 children have lived. Garm, you're probably getting some accolades as well in terms of, just the jubilation that they've been taken into a safe place, that the clan mother has delivered 3 orc children that will grow into strong warriors.
I imagine at
And-
some point Garm was holding Rogruta back from Askelon because he would be the one that would be most pissed
When-
about him getting in there.
When the candles were going and there was like a ceremony and whatnot, yeah, Roguta was like, I'm going to put a spear through that motherfucker's head. Yeah. But he didn't have to. All right. So the other 3 of you have gotten through the whole Q1 sleeping. So recover as you will. And we'll pick up at like breakfast time with Askelon stumbling out of the stables in the back. I think all the orcs now, it's been a long night of, none of them slept. So all the orcs are probably now resting, including Mama with her 3 babies, with Ori still attending. Askelon, when you come back in, are the other 3 of you getting breakfast?
Oh yeah,
Kind of
for sure. We got to get going this morning.
Like a 6 a.m. Sun's just
Dawn.
come up.
The game plan was dawn.
Dawn.
I'm
There you go.
I'm slinging orc afterbirth off my arms.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You don't look so good. You're going to be ready to go in a couple of minutes. We're going to have some breakfast and we're on the road.
Oh.
We'll have that fine lady that brought me water last night to pack something for you.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Oh, she wanted to draw me a bath, and I said no, I wanted to sleep. But I feel much better. So, get your stuff ready to go so we can get out of here. Yes.
What? One minute, and I'll pack my things up, and just give me a minute.
Yeah. Where are we? Where are we? Upstairs? Downstairs? Where are we?
I think
We're
you're
in the
probably
breakfast.
common room.
Yeah, you're downstairs getting. The
Counter.
3 of you are probably finishing early breakfast when he's done.
Yeah,
with it.
go ahead. Go get your stuff. We'll be right here. If you don't see us in here, we're waiting outside.
I'm gonna go find Ori.
So she's back in the stable. She's going to be tending the orc mother.
Okay.
Also exhausted, but
Right.
wants to make sure that the new mom is doing okay.
Well, I'm gonna try to. I don't want to piss off Mom, but I'm gonna try to catch Ori's eye to come over.
Okay. Certainly you could have said, I need to see you in a few minutes or whatever. So,
Yeah, right.
Ori can join you. Are you talking about doing it in the main room of the White Raven?
Yeah, just I'll maybe just outside. I just want to get a little away from the orcs and everybody else. And,
Okay. So
just
let's say you meet up in the yard between the 2 buildings where the arrow fell last night, and the arrow's actually still on the ground where Conn pulled the message off of it.
No.
The ground is mucky and wet from all the rain last night, but the skies overhead are clearing. And you can see that there's some activity in the inn as, your friends are making ready. And Ori comes out. She looks exhausted, but she's like, what you did last night was incredible.
Thank you.
We're blessed to have you here. Truly, the Raven guided you here for this.
I hope so, but my friends are leaving, and I do have obligations to them. I think you were in a better place now, and I know, and I feel like I need to honor my obligations to them as well as you, as well as this village.
You can't stay even for a few days until you're recovered.
They wished to leave, and I agreed. I asked them to stay a little bit longer, and they did that. So I feel like I must go with them.
She leans in close and says, what will you do with the heart? It was protecting the village.
But I thought she told me to take it, to take it away from here. I thought that's what she told me.
Previously she had said this heart has been protecting the village. We've had it here for a long time, and it would be best if you took it someplace where elves would want it, type of thing.
Right.
Return it home, etc. But now that the moment's arriving, maybe she's a little nervous about it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I promise you I will keep it safe and try to find out its secrets. And if I find them out, I will let you know. But if you want to keep it, I will give it back to you. Although
she shakes her head and says, it does not belong to me. It's of your people, for your people.
I said, I think that these orcs coming could be a good thing. And
she glances over her shoulder and says, they will be strong allies, but they are few. Do you not think the Rust brothers are right behind them?
They could be. I don't know that. But they have been they certainly were doggedly tracking them. But the Rust brothers, your village is going to have to deal with them one time or another, because it sounds like they are coming this way, nonetheless.
She nods glumly and then looks down. Askelon can tell that she's terrified of the Rust brothers.
I'll reach out and put my hands on her and on her shoulder and say, if the Raven guided me here, I'm sure they did that. That wasn't to make you weaker. It was to, bring you some strength.
She looks up and you can see that her cheeks are tear stained, and she just nods and says, you're right. Everything happens for a reason. And she turns and heads back for the stable where the orcs are resting. Good luck. I'm glad to have met you.
You too. And thank you for your teaching.
She pauses at the door and just turns and looks at you and just nods one last time, then slips inside.
Okay. I will very glumly go upstairs and gather my stuff in my sack.
That's right. Adventurer's sack. Oh my. All right. So Q1 was everyone resting except for Askelon.
And Garm.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Garm. You didn't sleep either.
Mm-hmm.
You were up all night in the birthing house as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're both tracking on what needs to be healed and all that good stuff. If anything,
it's a point of wits damage, and we can't heal wits until we sleep. Outside of magic,
because you're sleepy. You mean?
Yep.
Okay. And Askelon, you're not just sleepy. You also had some empathy damage, right?
I've got 2 empathy damage and 1 witch damage now because of sleepy, and I marked the sleepy condition.
All right. Well, with the 4 of you gathered and intending to go somewhere, what's the plan?
Garm has gathered his stuff up while Askelon was talking, and he's down in the common room quickly eating breakfast, just like shoveling it in quick because they keep saying they're like standing on the door, like tapping. Come on, we got to go. Where is he?
Right. Skies are clear. Weather's turned. It's a good day for travel.
Finally. Supposed to get in those boats. Eh there, Conn? Maybe go under the boats.
Make good time, but I thought we were supposed to head north so that Askelon could investigate that gem. We're just pressing on now for the reach.
We don't have to do that right now. If you guys want to leave, we can.
If you check the map, Askelon was talking about going to that little. There's a grove of trees where he would have to go to kind of commune with the crystal to find out more at the heart. Or you can go whatever
Let's
direction
get back in the boats. Let's keep heading downriver. I mean, the Rust brothers are close. We don't want to deal with that. I mean, this village, look what we've done. We have brought orcs and the village together. The orcs.
Yeah. What?
We're leaving this place stronger than when we got here.
Oh yeah, Stas. There's only 4 orcs now. Mother and the scouty orc and the smart orc and the
scouty orc.
Oh, that's right. You didn't know that you were sleeping.
4?
Oh yeah, and they had 3 babies. Askelon delivered 3 babies this morning.
So all of the hubbub over 4 orcs, and they just put them in the stables.
That's what it ended up being.
7
orcs
7 now.
Whatever.
Oh, Argo told me that all the other orcs that were in their clan fell to the Rust brothers while they were fleeing here.
One more good reason we're getting out of town. Good to know.
Yeah.
Just hope my contact stays alive long enough to establish that trade route.
So there doesn't have to be a hunter down here having breakfast too, does there?
Roll a d6, Wayne. Get a 4 or 5 or 6. No. I'll say this.
Never
Nope.
meant to be.
Nope, but gotta get his name. Who's the innkeeper again? Why do I keep forgetting his name? Yeah, Arthund. Arthund says, no, Siga usually comes in late morning, not first thing.
Do you want to wait to talk to the person who's been down that way?
Yeah, guys, do you want to wait?
Down what way?
No.
Why?
We're
Are
heading
you
east.
Trying to mess with the plan.
No. The Rust brothers are right behind us. We don't want no dealings with them. It's time to get into the boats and let's get moving. It's a beautiful day. What are we waiting for?
I don't understand. Maybe, hey, I don't know. You know what? Hey, Conn, maybe you and I don't know anything about travel in this wretched world. And maybe Askelon's got it right. Maybe we should maybe Askelon should stay here in this wonderful village, and we could go make our fortune somewhere else. We that's fine. You know, we might be able to travel faster. We could certainly travel faster if we were alive.
You are alive, but I just want to know whether you wanted some more intelligence. But
no,
obviously
it's time
not.
to go. We're heading to the Reach. We've been here long enough. We've seen these. We've behind the highest walls long enough.
We don't have anybody report to about intelligence and all this other stuff.
Exactly. We're heading to the Reach.
It's
time to get into the boats
Get in your own head. You're talking to these people. You're getting too close. These
That's
people
okay, please.
are passerbys. That's all they are. They're not family.
Days are seconds to me, but all right. I
Yeah.
understand it's not that for you.
Garm, you're ready to go now, yes?
Yeah.
Like,
There's the spirit.
You look terrible.
Yeah.
Did you get any
Come on.
sleep last night, Garm?
Nope, not at all.
You know what?
But I'm ready
I
to go.
feel great. You know why? I got some goddamn sleep last night.
Should have had a bath.
Fair. True. Fair. Are we ready to move out? Is there any little errands you need to run before we need to go? Is there anybody you need to say goodbye to?
No.
Leave a calling card for?
I'll just be meticulously folding my slowly putting him in my bag. No, we can leave.
Going well. Maybe we come back here. I got a contact here. We can move goods through. And this place isn't completely useless.
So Garm and Askelon pack up your stuff, right?
Yeah.
There two are already packed, and you're heading for the boats. Is that right?
Yes.
What direction are the boats?
They're
They wouldn't-
southwest, right? Because they were
They are.
west of the village. Yeah, towards
They
the
are.
Rust Brothers.
And yes, yes, they are.
If they're there. I
They're
don't
in the
know.
same hex.
Yep.
They are.
Yeah.
Yep.
We go down to the river. We get in our little boats, boaty McBoat faces, and we go out into the river. Hopefully, we get to a bigger sea, and then it's the bitter reach. No problem. We land.
It's a
We
great-
do this all the way since we've gone together here and found these boats along the shore. We paddle a few hours. We make rest on the land. We get back into boats. We paddle for a few more hours. Before we know it, we're there. We don't have to deal with the forest, the woods, these landlubbers. I'm kind of liking the sea. I might even want to be a sailor when this is all over.
Interesting.
So you're pretty loud about.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
we're
Garm.
like ready to leave, right? Waiting on you.
Yeah.
You're the one who's standing in the doorway yelling about being a sailor.
All right, so you exit from they open the gates and let you outside to that southern part of the field where you were last night when you met with the orcs and the towers out there, and some of you have practiced out here before. But as you start heading down towards the river and the boats, you do hear behind you, "Wait!"
Oh,
And it's
well,
Stom. It's Stom.
Oh, God.
So he comes
I tried to
trudging
ask
out.
on. I swear to God, whatever he says, it doesn't matter. We're getting the hell out of here. You understand me?
So along comes Stom, and he's in like his boots and his nightshirt again, right? But he's clearly been woken or has just gotten up and is coming after you. And Darfa is coming along as well, if you remember her. Darfa ran the sort of the general store, very rotund lady who would sat and laid out all of her wares, and you kind of went over those. And I think there was someone who purchased something from her. Stas?
She's my contact. Yeah, she's
She
my
is.
trading contact.
She
yeah.
is your trading contact. So
All right,
Darfa
now-
is coming along.
Darfa's
Yeah.
coming now. Everybody, I got this. We might have to be a couple minutes, but I'll make do.
So Stan has the lead and is like, "Oh, you're going already? I've just been made aware that 4 of you are leaving."
Yeah.
Is there?
Askelon, we're leaving, right?
He lowers his voice so his man on the palisade behind him can't hear him, and he says, I need your blades to defend this place. Could I pay you to do this? It's bad enough we have the griffin that we worry about, but now we have these Rust Brothers coming. There's not enough men to man the walls. Darf is clearly waiting she's not thinking of this topic. She's thinking of something else. And she's kind of waiting behind him like,
I'll just say I made an agreement to a company. We made an agreement amongst ourselves to go to the Bitter Reach, and our compatriots would want to leave, so we stayed extra time to try to help. But it's time for us to leave.
You've just gained 4 orc warriors. They will help defend your walls.
I don't trust them. What about this one? He points at Garm. This one seems rational. Those others, only one of them can even speak the language I know. Darfa says, they're leaving. Let them go, Stan. They're leaving.
Hey, you and I have a deal. So don't pretend like you're all innocent in this, woman. Partner.
Innocent.
She pushes past Stan and comes over to Stas, grabs Stas by like the collar, and she pulls you a short distance away.
What?
She's only like 4.5 feet tall, so she's really short. Yep. She pulls you along and she says, are you going east? East?
Yeah, that was the plan. We're going east. We're going to try to go out to the river, and then we're going to go up to the north and hope it goes north. Why?
Keep your voice down.
All right. What is it?
Find the Saurians in the marshes. They have more of those. What I sold you. I'll buy them. You bring those back here, I'll pay you a pretty penny.
Saurians in the marshes?
Trade with them. Lizard folk. They're friendly.
Sorry. Oh.
They're east of here.
How far?
Oh, we're going far to the north.
How far? How far?
Not far. Half a day.
I might not be able to come
by the
back.
river.
I might not be able to come back right away, though.
I
Maybe
will make it
something-
worth your while.
What are we talking?
There would be gold in this for you.
Yeah, I know.
Not silver, gold.
Oh, well, I know. Well, we're talking 1, 2, 10.
I could perhaps part with a gold for each shard that you buy. I don't know where they find them. They have some source.
I don't know, woman. It's I know. This is gonna crush you that we're leaving. I understand.
Crushed. I'm crushed.
I know. Could you ham it up just a little bit, for God's sakes? If you're not hammed it before.
I am upset.
Just bring me those shards.
Fine. I'll keep you in mind. I can't say it'll be anytime soon, but I'll.
Worth your while. She slaps you on the arm, turns and heads back
It
to the
has been
village.
quite worth my while, indeed.
So as Stas is rejoining the conversation, Stan is saying, so your minds are made up. You're going. Yep. All right. Well, we thank you for everything you've done. He looks at Askelon, raises a big furry eyebrow and says, I heard what you did with Ori last night, saving those orc babes.
Remind him of that if you have to.
Oh, I will.
Good
He
luck.
looks like he has more that he wants to say, but instead he just says, your presence here has been appreciated. Good, safe journeys to you.
Good luck. Finish the arbalist.
Thank
We
you
will.
for the hospitality.
All right. He turns and goes, takes Darfa with him. Gates close. The only 2 folks who are outside the village right now, other than you guys, are the 2 guardsmen that are up with the arbalist in the front. But you pass by them, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, 4 of you are heading down towards where you last left your boats. Do you guys remember whether you hid the boats or what you did with the boats? I wonder if Kevin's notes have that. Vaguely remember you hiding them.
I
Yeah,
remember we were hiding them, yeah.
I think we hit him too.
I think you
but
even made a stealth roll.
I think we
Yeah.
did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was
Probably Conn.
Conn made a stealth roll, I think. Yeah.
We pull up about a mile away from the structures.
Yep. About a mile.
I think we hid them.
We hide the boats. Yeah, we hide the
there we go.
boats and then head into the village.
There you go. All right. So you have about a mile to cover. So it probably takes you 20 minutes to walk down there.
Okay.
It is I'm not unable to access my weather generator for some reason right now. I don't know why, but I can't. So we'll call, unless one of you guys who knows how to use Simple Calendar. Do you know how to get the weather generator little pop-up to come back up? It's gone away. I don't know where it is.
You click the little S.
SC?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working. You know what? Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to reload the game in Foundry and see if that helps. That often brings it back up. Negative. It did not. We're just going to go with clear skies.
Okay.
Beauty.
I am going to do one thing here.
I guess I will. If we make the boats and we get in the boats and we push off,
You find the
so
boats.
lucky.
You uncover the boats. I would imagine a few eyes are cast skyward.
Yes.
Skies are clear. A couple of you have mixed feelings about what you're doing. At least one of you does.
Yeah, I do.
2 or 3 of you don't. But sure enough, you got the 2 boats that are in decent shape. You get them into the water, and are you traveling for this quarter? All right. So let's do. You're actually going to make progress here. I have to remember how to. You guys have been in the village so long. I have to remember how to move
Right.
the cursor or the tile. And it is. There we go.
Here we are.
And you're going to go to the down here.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
We're taking the water, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, XP. Did you feel it? I felt it.
Right.
Let's get moving.
It just happened. Give me 1 second to mark where you've been to Riversknit. All right. So we're going to have to do the lead the way. We're going to have to do the keep watch and all the stuff we haven't done in so long here.
Mhm.
And I need to get something out as well.
Conn's leading the way for sure.
Okay. So let's start with that.
Okay. Whoops. Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Okay. So success.
Dude.
And I need. Just give me a second here.
Off we go.
Right past the rocks. Nice job, Conn.
That's right. No Rust Brothers in sight.
Trucking along just the way I like it.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about this.
Oh, look, marshes. Huh.
What do you know?
You know, if we didn't leave town, we were never leaving town.
Oh,
who
yeah.
was
Yeah.
who was keeping watch?
Was Stas?
Stas.
He's
I think
usually,
I think it's
usually
normally
It is
Stas.
Stas.
It
It
is.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to scroll way up to see in the notes who usually keeps watch.
Yep. All right. So, and I need to clear the map off as well. So let me do some of that with my. Oh, did you guys see that? Mirko had mentioned that Simple Fog was no longer working
Mm,
with the new version of Foundry.
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff not working.
Is that right, Sean?
I think so. It's like there was somebody on Twitter was like super perturbed because their whole game is all the
Forked.
journals got like
Oh.
moved.
And that's what you said,
Ooh,
Wayne.
yeah.
You're like, don't upgrade because the journals might go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the journal system got completely rewritten. So I'm like, man, I'm not. Yeah, I was pretty. I would update pretty easily, but that's huge.
Yeah.
And like all the modules that I bought, I really don't want all that crap to go away. I have to rebuild my worlds. That's
Yeah,
a pain in the ass.
sucks.
It
All right,
is.
so I think you can. What's up?
I got my spyglass back, right? Give me my
Yes.
spyglass.
Of course.
Yeah. Garm would assume that him and Askelon ended up in a boat again, like we did before.
You tired guys together.
We'll be behind.
Yep.
Yes, you're lagging.
Looking,
You're
keep
lagging.
looking over our shoulder.
Oops. So Stas, you don't even need that scouting roll. It's clear.
got it.
It's clear sailing, my friend.
Got it. Okay.
So
Wow.
early morning, you get the boats in the water. The water's glistening in the sunshine. You're going with the flow of the water, right? So it's easy to make good time. And you can see on the map here that the south shore of the river is pretty hilly versus the grasslands to your left, to the north. And indeed, the river widens out into more of a lake. And at the edges of that lake are very tall reeds, and it's very marshy on the edges. So Stas, this kind of pings something that was just said to you a little while ago. You don't have to do anything about it, but you were told about marshlands. And, I think you can travel 2 hexes in a single watch. So you can either keep going or you can stop here. What do you guys do? Do you press ahead? It seems to be placid waters, easy going for the first half of the morning. Conn's like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. For hex purposes, are you going to err on the north or south? You see where you're going to go next? So here or here? The river's right in the middle.
North Shore?
Yeah,
Sure.
just tell me
had
which
good
shore
luck with
which
that.
shore you hug.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
North Shore.
the North Shore.
Okay.
Keep away from
So-
the hills. Things could
That's
sneak
right.
up on us.
The cannibals were on the hilly side, weren't they?
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah.
You're leading the way, Conn. You pick.
Oh.
Just stay away from those rocks and
North
I don't know,
Shore.
whatever that thing is up there.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Throw that again.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. Successful. Give me 1 second here. It's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Okay, so by the time it's noon, right? At the end of the first quarter second quarter now, right?
Mhm.
First quarter is midnight to 6. Second quarter is 6 to noon. If I have that right. Let me update my clock. Oh, how about that? I refresh Foundry. Simple calendar is now completely gone.
Really?
Yep.
I can still open it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder why mine is. I'm going to try one more update, see if I can get it back.
Yeah.
Or one more refresh. It's back. Okay, so let me bring this up to. Oops. So we're still on the 8th of Summerwane. I need to advance the clock to noon. All right. So by the time noon rolls around, you've gotten to to the other end of that marshy lake. The river narrows again, and you're back into sort of a relatively swifter moving river that is still hills on the south and still plains on the north. Let me clear the fog for you. And then we'll see what we see. Second here. All right. And it is still quiet. The morning has been peaceful. You're making good time. You've gotten to the end of the quarter. You can keep going. You can put in. You can rest. Conn wants to go. Q3. Keep moving.
Oh shit. Stat, do we got to make camp? How are those two looking? How far back are they?
Who cares?
Yeah.
We're ahead.
We're like,
If
They're
they're
barely
back,
barely keeping up.
they're eventually going to have to pass us, but I don't see that happening. So
You said the river got swifter. Garm is just on the back, just using it as a rudder. He's not even
Just steering.
Just steering. Yep.
This is Harrigan. Is this Q2 or Q3? Going into Q3?
You
Just going
ended.
into.
You just ended Q2.
Q3.
Q1 was like you slept, right? Most
Got
two
it.
of you slept.
Yeah.
Q2 you just covered 2 hexes.
Yeah.
And now you're starting noon. You're starting Q3.
Yeah. Let's keep pushing on. We'll make camp next quarter. Let's keep going. We're making great time. We're putting the Rust Brothers behind us.
Okay. So I'm going to plug you in here. Right.
Right.
Is that where you're heading?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Still staying on the north shore though, but peeling around. Yeah.
Oh, so you want to go? You want to be?
Oh, is that right?
No, but it's this hex though, right, Kevin?
yeah, I think it is.
Because that's where the
river.
river is.
Oh,
So
I
we're
see
in
what
that
you're saying.
hex,
Yep,
but just
yep.
thematically, like
Yeah,
I don't want to be
see.
on the south part of the river.
Understood.
Yep, that makes sense.
Understood. Okay. I need another lead the way as you move into the early afternoon. Oh.
No, it's okay. I've got my hunter ability. I use a will point, and I can automatically get a success.
Is that what you're doing?
Oh yeah, I'll use a will point. We're going to succeed, and we're going to keep moving.
Okay, got it. You're a bastard. And when I meet you in person, I'm going to throw my beer in your face.
That's okay. That's what the hunter class is all about.
Feels like, nope, we're still moving.
We're moving. I got 7
Still
willpower
going.
points. We're going to move for a long time.
Fair enough. All right, let me do the counter here.
Yeah, that's the first time I've had to use this.
Yeah, you usually roll very well for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Path of the Forest.
All right. It is. And where I just moved you is the one you moved into. Yes.
Yes.
Mid-afternoon, there are birds overhead. There are a few fish jumping in the water, but the river's just flowing. You can tell it's getting faster and faster.
Oh, rapids.
Yeah. It's not rapids, not like you're not worried yet, certainly, but it's definitely the river is picking up steam.
Okay.
What's that roar in the distance?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to try to move that last hex, and then I think we'll wrap up for the evening.
100%.
Okay. Go ahead and you know what? Before you do that, I didn't even clear off the fog. So let me show you what you can see.
Sure.
And then you can make a decision.
It says waterfall in the next one.
Yeah,
That's right. All right. So that's what you can see. Traveling down the Elia River.
Ooh.
And I think we're probably going to go into this hex next. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Phil just wants to go.
Yeah, we're moving.
There was a lot of entanglements back there. We got to get as far away from
We're
them as we
moving.
can.
Before someone changes their mind.
Yeah. We're moving.
Run. Did you make it again?
Yes.
Lead the way?
Yeah.
Conn is like the man in the prow of the ship there. No trouble.
I'm just having to say, we've traveled a lot of river and nobody has died. That's not like the game we normally play. So
It's true.
it's because we're on the river. That's
Yeah,
the key. Conn,
We're on boats.
that's the key.
and boats. Yeah.
Helps when you're not crossing the river on foot.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a great spot to end. Go ahead and roll your keep. What is it?
scouting.
Keep watch, scouting. Keep watch.
You
Yep.
see a griffin in the
Yeah,
skies.
this big
So
roll here,
Stas.
Sean.
Yep, Stas, roll it.
Big roll.
Like 7 dice. I got this.
Yes. Oh, does
Oh,
he
yeah,
ever?
All right.
he did.
Successes.
Crushes it, right? All right. So Stas, you it's all you guys can do. Oh no, you're with Conn, right?
I'm with Conn
So
up at front.
I'm picturing you guys are probably like 100 yards ahead of the other boat. other boats
Probably,
totally lagging. It's kind of the wrong direction a little bit. It's one of those like you paddle and you go towards that shore too much, and you paddle and you go towards that shore too much, and overcorrecting. But over Conn, Conn is putting the hammer down. He's navigating all everywhere he needs to navigate. He sees rocks in the water. He sees that there's little channels you have to slip through. You see ahead another boat.
Uh-oh.
It's a small boat that looks like it's the kind of boat like a dory like this that would have oars, but there's either no one in it, or if there's somebody in it, they're lying low, or there's whatever it is. There's nothing. There's no one like up in the boat rowing or anything. So it looks like an abandoned boat that's floating. You're catching it. So let's even say it's kind of hung up a little bit. Otherwise, you wouldn't be catching it. So this boat is either an anchor's been dropped or there's something tangled and it's in the river and you're heading towards it. And let's cut it there. Let's cut it right there. Unless you guys have a specific thing you want to try, I think that's a good place for us to.
Just gonna say, I stand up in the back of the boat because he's kind of paddling forward, and I look through the eyeglass and I go, "There's a boat ahead." In the distance.
There you go. Did you use your spyglass when you?
Of course.
All right, then I'll give you this. There appears to be something in the boat, like blankets or sails or sacks or something. So there's something like piled in the boat. So the boat is not empty. I'll say that.
Looks abandoned,
as-
but doesn't look empty.
That's right. So this is what Stas says as he lowers his eyeglass, and we cut.
This has been a Litterbox Studio production.